for Noni Madueke. They didn't have to go that far for that one. Augie, what do you think of this and the likelihood of it happening too?
Yeah, that'll happen. Again, Chelsea need to get some players off the books now because they've signed a lot of players again this summer. They've also been hit by UEFA with a big fine for the way that they've contravened financial regulations with UEFA. So they have to get players out. And Madueke, again, homegrown player, enables them to have their PSR 100%, pure profit situation. So Madueke to Arsenal, I was saying to Robert, it's interesting because he plays the same side as Saka. So where's he going to play?
At his best, he plays on the same side as Saka. Chelsea have played him on the left, but he's not been anywhere near as effective on the left-hand side. And that's where you'd expect Arsenal bought him for, to not replace, but be a competition for Martinelli.
And the issue with Arsenal fans right now is I'm watching what they're saying on Twitter is they've signed Zubimendi, they've signed Kepa, they've signed Norgard, they're signing Madueke. What about the striker? Because it's all about getting the striker now. They do like Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon, but it's not happened yet. And they're spending a lot of money on players that weren't the priority. We're hearing about Rodrygo as well as potential. I think that's unlikely considering what they've spent. But Gyökeres is the key. They have to get a striker in. They looked at Sesko. Gyökeres is the guy.
So what's gone wrong? Because Jules Laurent was saying that it was almost done about 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah, it's going to be done. It's only a case of nuts and bolts and all that sort of stuff.
I think what happens is when Premier League clubs are involved, I think the clubs that are getting rid of the players just think, well, Premier League tax, let's try and get a bit more because they know that Arsenal are desperate for a striker, Man United are desperate for a striker. So the clubs that are getting rid of these players think, well, we'll push the button because we can get another £10 million out of these clubs because they are so desperate and also they've all got a lot of money. We're seeing it with Man United and Mbumo now. That's been going on for about a month. I was told, 3 or 4 weeks ago, it's £3 or £4 million apart, it'll be done. And it still hasn't been done because clubs that are getting rid of centre forwards or goal scorers know that goal scorers are the players that everybody wants.
Will Gyökeres go to Arsenal, do you think?
I think he will, yeah. He wants to go there. It's a deal that can be done, but these deals just don't happen quickly, do they?
All right, well, let's move on now. Still talking about Arsenal, though, because word is that they are very interested in a certain Rodrygo Goes, who's at Real Madrid. Unfortunate situation for the Brazilian. We know he's looking like surplus to requirements, especially the news coming out of Madrid is that Xavi has let him know that he is not exactly a part of his plans going forward. Shaka, is this a player that Arsenal definitely should go for?
Listen, I think a player of Rodrygo's quality, of his experience, of the things that he's won, he'd be a welcome addition to Arsenal. The big question does become exactly where does he play, where's his best position in terms of who Arsenal already have, how they line up, how Mikel Arteta makes them adjust. But young enough, certainly talented enough, and being surplus to requirements at Real Madrid, I think he's an attractive talent.
For an Arsenal, though, it's either Madueke or Rodrygo, surely. You can't have both the players because then you get too many players.
Well, saying that, we've kind of said that about Arsenal and Mikel Arteta for quite some time. How many similar players are they going to sign without signing that striker? No. Whether the Gyökeres deal gets done, that need has been there for the last couple of seasons. Outside of that, even though you're signing talent, it's a lot of pretty similar talent. And this just kind of goes down that path again.
Any chance to Arsenal, Woggy?
I think it's unlikely because of like you said, they brought in Madueke. We're hearing Chelsea maybe. Chelsea like a signing, don't they? Liverpool has been mentioned as well. Yeah. I mean, I just wonder with Rodrygo whether it's a situation that Xabi Alonso has been told that we need to get some players out this summer. And he's the obvious one because they're not going to get rid of Mbappe. Yeah. It ain't going to be Vinny Jr. I think Gonzalo Garcia is a kid that's come through. They give him a chance. And he will play the Rodrygo role for the next couple of years. He'll play wherever they want him to play because he's desperate for his chance. I think Rodrygo's developed beyond that. But he's just not the big name that the other two are. And it'd be a case of, well, you're the easiest one to get rid of because I don't want to get rid of those two.
I mean, we've been talking about Rodrygo for a long time now, of course, Rabo, at Real Madrid, and we know the quality he is. You just feel like he's just not taking his chances when he has given them? Or is he a little bit hard done by all the other big names that have been brought in?
I think he's been hard done by it. I don't think he dominates games quite enough. You see, he'll have good games. He'll go past people, he can get crosses in, he can play in all sorts of roles across the front. And when Vinny Jr. wasn't playing, he'd go and play on the left-hand side and he'd play better out on the left-hand side. Like most, and Gareth Bale talked about it, most players like now coming in on their favoured foot. He's playing on the right-hand side when he's usually playing for Real Madrid. He hasn't affected enough games, enough of the big games. So that's probably why they're allowing him to go. But he's a good player, and I think he's a bit hard done by.
I think Rodrygo's an outstanding player, and I thought you saw that a couple of years a couple of years ago in particular, and maybe one along with quite a few others who were not maybe got the praise that they deserved in that Champions League winning season, and then all of a sudden had to try to adjust and to Mark's point, kind of given the two big names, Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., having to play in a position that he doesn't like, and always kind of the third
one out.
wheel. Yeah, you know, and so last season wasn't anywhere near as good as you would hope or you expect, given what we saw from him 12 months prior. So it's a difficult one for Rodrygo because they aren't going to leave the other two out. Those two are going to play, and then so what do you do with him in that regard? And given, as I say, 2 years ago, you just wonder if he's not also thinking, let me just stick this out, see where it goes for a little bit.
Yeah, shame for Rodrygo because I do definitely respect him as a player. He always comes up with a clutch goal sometimes when Real Madrid has needed it. And as you said, I feel like he's just gone underrated there.
Arsenal are closing in on another big signing. Noni Madueke is set to join from Chelsea in a deal worth £52 million. The 23-year-old winger has already been given permission to leave Chelsea's Club World Cup camp in the United States. He's now heading to London to finalise the move and complete a medical with Arsenal. The deal is reported to be £48 million up front, with another £4 million in add-ons based on performance. That brings the total to £52 million, a big fee for a young, talented player. Madueke made 45 appearances for Chelsea last season, scoring 11 goals and providing 5 assists. He's strong, direct, fast with the ball, and not afraid to take on defenders. He's exactly the kind of winger Mikel Arteta likes. Young, hungry, and able to fit into the high-pressing system at Arsenal. It's worth remembering that Madueke only joined Chelsea in January 2023. Coming from PSV Eindhoven, since then, he's made 91 senior appearances and signed a long-term deal that runs until 2030. So why are Chelsea selling him now? The Blues are looking to trim their squad, balance the books, and make room for other signings. With Michael Olise arriving and more forwards being linked, Madueke would face tough competition at Stamford Bridge. From Arsenal's side, it's a smart move. They've needed more depth in wide areas, especially with injuries to Saka and Martinelli last season. Madueke gives them another option, a left-footed winger who can cut inside, create chances, and score goals. At just 23 years old, he still has room to grow. But he's already shown he can perform in the Premier League. If all goes to plan, he will complete his medical in the next 24 to 48 hours. And the move will be official shortly after that.
Arsenal is set to sign Chelsea winger Noni Madueke in a stunning £52 million transfer. The England international has been cleared to leave Chelsea's Club World Cup camp in the US to complete his medical in London. The Gunners will pay £48 million up front, plus £4 million in add-ons, and Mikel Arteta sees him as the perfect backup and competition for Saka on the right wing. Madueke made 45 appearances for Chelsea last season, scoring 11 goals with 5 assists. Is this another Arteta masterclass? Will Madueke become a starter for Arsenal? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more daily transfer updates.